one of my favorite stories is, it's too hard to be a scallywag. I mean, it's just too hard to be a scumbag. You have to work at it to be a cheater. It all ties in for me to construction sites. It's the same thing. I mean, do you know how hard it is to do a job shitty and get it to pass? I mean, you have to trick everybody. You have to fool everybody that you see. And I learned this when I was really young. My dad was working with me after he retired from the phone company. He come out on a job one time and I was cleaning up somebody's yard, and I didn't do a very good job. We put sewer right through the middle of Hillsboro, and he looked at me like I was nuts. He said, "You gonna leave their place looking like that?" And I'm like, "Well, that's good enough." Well, that was all it took for me. Dad made fun of me, and then from then on, the sewer had to be a rifle barrel. Everything had to be on grade. Everything had to be, none of this bullshit where it doesn't pass. I mean, if I laid it, it passes. If it leaks, I know where it leaks. It's fixed, it's done. All that stuff just has to be, the jobs have to look a certain way. They have to be a certain way. They just have to be. It's got to be clean. It's got to be set up what I call perfect. If it's not perfect, then it means that you skipped over something. You left something out. And that's not what you want to do. When they come to my site, I want them to drive in, and I want the son of a bitch to look like Yellowstone Park. I mean, where they just drive in there and they want to hit their knees and say, "Good God, Steve, did you really do that?" Hey, sure, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that pat on the back. But I got them. I got some. I got the head of the BLM, Bureau of Land Management. I know I've told this story before. I got to tell it again. He came out to our job, to a claim. There's 6,000 acres over there, and I'd gone all up through the hills and tested, and they had their archaeologist out there. They had a geologist, out there to inspect it. And when they got done, they were walking around with the landowner, and he said, who did this? Who's been in here? And they said, "Steve Smith's been in here." He said, "Well, we need to stick his work in our playbook for guys that lease mine space from us, and show them this is how you do it." And you know what? All I did was I treated it like I didn't want to make a mess. I went in there and I took care of it. Took care of things. I did it. I cleaned it up right. Got it seated to make it look good. Go to the next spot. I don't get scrutinized. Does that surprise you? They don't scrutinize Cowboy Steve. When they roll into his job, they look at it and they go, "Well, guys that keep their sites like this, they don't get people hurt." MSHA doesn't have trouble with us because I don't give MSHA trouble. I don't do that. I follow their rules. I learn from the Corps of Engineers. I follow everybody's rules. The site's clean, the rules are followed, the paperwork's there, the flotation devices are where they're supposed to be, the man lanyards are there, I tag the stuff out when it's supposed to be. And when you drive into a site and there's nothing awry, well, it's a waste of their time. They don't want to stick around there. We'll go over there and look at the paperwork. Sure, they'll inspect you and they'll scrutinize you. And you'll probably have something that they will be able to give you a ticket for. But they don't want to, because they go that those type of people don't F jobs up. And that's the same to me as being a scoundrel, a scumbag. Look at how much work you have to go through every day to get up and keep fooling everybody. Whether it's dope, booze, money, gambling. I got 3 of those pretty well. If you do it the right way, and it's so much easier, and you're never gonna go home feeling entitled. You just never will. Even if you are entitled. Maybe they owe you. They will see. I don't care who you think your boss is. He doesn't know what's going on. The boss does know what's going on. And if he doesn't, he's not around very long. So hopefully that helps somebody, because it always helped me. About the time you start feeling entitled, go out and grab a shovel. I'm going to be out there tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll get some video, because I'll kick them off the shovel and I'll go to work, and then things start making sense, because the mind goes clear. You're doing nothing but physical labor, and it says it in the Bible. I mean, work with your hands. That doesn't mean we don't need everybody else that doesn't do that, but you can sure as hell use it for therapy and get away from your scoundrelous ways, right? I mean, it works. I can tell you that it works.